The 2025 Toyota 4Runner TrailHunter is an off-road focused SUV that has a hybrid engine, advanced suspension, and great capability. Plus, it is perfect for a daily driver because it's not just cool looking, it's also capable. This isn't the only 4Runner that Toyota offers. There's quite a selection, and the list is long. Not just the TRD Sport, the TRD Off-Road, the Limited, and the Platinum. The TrailHunter is one of the coolest looking vehicles, and it's new for 2025. And some of the features that make it stand out is why people really want this vehicle and dealers can't keep them on the lot. One of the unique features is the bronze Toyota logo and LED switchable lights. This makes this vehicle not just look aggressive, but it also stands out in the crowd. I just like this bronze detail. I think it's really a nice feature. The TrailHunter steel front skid plate is also standard on this vehicle. Rigid LED lighting, LED headlights and taillights, 33-inch tires on bronze 18-inch wheels, and special TrailHunter suspension. You can see that right here. Really gives this vehicle some capability that you're not going to see on the other trim levels. Under the hood, they've replaced the 4Runner's old V6 engine with a new 4-cylinder engine, standard hybrid powertrain. That is the iForce Max with 278 horsepower and a turbocharged 4-cylinder matched with a 48 horsepower electric motor, produces 323 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque, backed by an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy, 23 miles to the gallon combined, and of course it only comes one way, 4-wheel drive, because this is an off-road vehicle. The suspension on the TrailHunter, well, that's what makes it special. With a 2.5-inch Old Man Emu shocks, they're designed for slower, more technical off-road control. That includes crawl control for low-speed advanced driver assistance, and there's a button that will disconnect the anti-roll bar at the front for extreme articulation. The roof rack, well, that's a metal roof rack with a 700-pound capacity. That's a lot, and it's actually functional. In addition, you've got rails here. They are not retractable. This is not a daily driver. This is a vehicle that's truly capable for off-road and on-road. And if you're driving this, like I have been for the last week, people are stopping me, telling me this is one of the coolest looking vehicles they've seen. And I do like the TrailHunter logo that's located on the side of this vehicle. Having wheel arches that are black matte just make this vehicle look even more aggressive. Inside, there's a lot of improvements as well. Very cool changes. Starting with the gold piping, not just around the seats, it's on the dash, it's stitched in, and that Toyota logo right here also is backed up by that gold details. Brand new center screens, larger and wireless Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto, digital gauge cluster. Everything here is designed to be functional. You've got a real shift lever, you've got all of your drive mode controls are right here, cup holders, everything you need, and wireless charging, tons of charge ports, tons of cup holders, because this vehicle is designed for not just a daily driver, but when you're going off-roading and you usually have people with you, you want to make sure they're comfortable. And the seats, they're power lumbar, heated and vented, and a heated steering wheel as well. The 4Runner seats 5 people. The seating material is very nice looking. It is not leather. It is a product called Softex. One of the coolest features in a lot of the Toyota products, we've seen it in the Tacoma and we're seeing it in the 4Runner, JBL audio. But this speaker you can remove. From the front, it's your front center speaker. You press a button, it comes out, and now you've got a Bluetooth speaker that you can use for camping, tailgating, or whatever you're doing. So many details inside the TrailHunter that make it stand out. The gold stitching, the grips that are actually rubberized so that you can close the door if your hands are wet. Tons of storage, cup holders everywhere, and JBL audio in the doors. Heading into the second row of this vehicle, you've got pockets behind each of the seats. That gold stitching continues throughout. The seats recline, which is really good if you've got child safety seats or someone that just wants to take a break. 2 cup holders built into that center armrest. The seats fold 60-40. And in addition, you've got 2 USB charge ports below the vents and a regular wall outlet. So ABC, always be charging. There is no glass roof in this car whatsoever, because when you're off-roading, the last thing you want is that torsional twist in the body, because it can cause damage to the glass. It's also not going to help the vehicle be stiffer, which is what you need when you're doing this off-road. You want the suspension to do the job and the people in the vehicle to have a comfortable ride. The passenger doors also have some nice features besides the rubberized grip and the gold stitching. There's also JBL audio, a place for a drink, and a snack. Coming around to the back, Toyota did something I've been constantly asking for. They tucked up the rear wiper blade underneath, because if you're off-roading, you don't want it to get hooked on a branch. But not just that, the life of that wiper blade, and they're not low cost, is tucked up underneath to protect the wiper, and it does its job. Of course, you've got power windows, you've got a tailgate that is power. Your spare tire is located underneath, and your towing capacity is 6,000 pounds. The trailer brakes are also standard with this vehicle, and that's on the right side of the steering wheel. All those little details add up if you've got to put it in afterwards. Of course, class 3 towing hitch, because you're going to be using this vehicle like a truck. Our test vehicle had some options, but not a lot of them. Digital key, which is for the remote connection, $275. The tow ball, $65. The accessory ready LED lanterns, $160. Cargo lights for $375. A cargo mat at $130. Not much. But this exterior color is Everest Mineral, because I know you're going to ask. It's really cool. It looks like a teal color. With the gold, it really pops. One nice feature, there is an onboard air compressor. If you lower the tire pressure to do some off-roading, some serious off-roading, you'll be glad, because you've got a compressor with you already built into the vehicle. A very nice feature that is standard on the TrailHunter. Because this vehicle is used for the 3-row SUV, you've got storage containers all across the back of this vehicle. Cargo capacity with the second row up is 48.4 cubic feet of storage, which is quite a bit. Fold down those seats 60-40, and you got plenty of room for gear, and you could probably sleep in the back if that's what you wanted to do. Remember that Toyota offers a ton of accessories in their aftermarket that you can get right from the dealer. You can put it into your lease or your buy. The goal is to have this vehicle usable for consumers. Underneath this cover, well, there's places for more accessories and so forth. The whole idea is that this vehicle is easy to use. It is a high lift to get items up here, and that's because you've got a hybrid battery in this vehicle, and it needs a place to be stored, and that's underneath the front part of this section. First thing is, when you put the backup camera on, you get a really nice crystal clear 14-inch screen with a round view camera that has so many different settings. You can look at the vehicle up close and far in different directions, and it includes an off-road camera, so you can see what's going on underneath the vehicle. They've really done a nice job with this, and cameras are important, and the fact that they're clear are even more important. In addition, if you've got gear in the back seat and you can't see, the rear view mirror becomes a camera. That is an important safety feature, and safety for this vehicle is Safety Sense 3.0, top of the line, because that is what you need when you're driving any vehicle these days. Forward collision warning and cross traffic alert, all the things that people want. Navigation system is gigantic on this vehicle. Look at that. The cameras kick on when you stop at a light. You can shut that off, but it's nice to have, because sometimes you get to a traffic light and someone decides that they forgot that there's a traffic light. You'll see all of that. The navigation system is great. It's crystal clear. You can make it louder, softer, whatever you need. JBL audio system, 14 speakers, including that very cool removable speaker in front, which nobody else has, and I think that is a really nice feature, especially if you do a lot of things outside of the vehicle. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are wireless. Going to the music settings, of course, you got satellite radio, and you can connect whatever you want wirelessly. You got your phone connections through Bluetooth. Going into the little picture of the vehicle, you got your trip information, your vehicle alerts, which there are none, thank goodness. And then all of your safety features, like in every Toyota, can be controlled through the steering wheel and this beautiful leather heated steering wheel, because it is freezing here in Buffalo today. If I didn't look cold, I'm cold. I've got the heated seats cranked, I've got the steering wheel cranked, and it's really, really nice. Brakes are really well balanced. This is a good sized vehicle. And one of the things besides Go Power, which you do get, a nice torquey engine because of this hybrid motor, you do need Whoa Power, which are really nice brakes, well balanced. And the suspension and ride on this on a daily basis, because we drive these for a week, is really comfortable. You would not think that. Now, you have different drive modes. You got your crawl mode for off-road, your different mud and terrain mode, your tow haul mode. All of that is adjusted to the left side of the shifter. You've also got auto hold, your 2 high, your 4 high, and your 4 low. All those adjustments are right here next to the shifter. And of course, behind that is a line of buttons. There are tons of buttons in this car, because people that have a vehicle like this want to be able to control it the way they want to control it. You've got your around view camera, as well as your locking diffs, and your stabilizer bar buttons are directly behind the shifter, easy to access. In front of you, just below this gigantic center screen, is all of your climate controls and a very large dial for volume. I do like that. Not every vehicle is doing that. Some vehicles I've gotten in are push buttons, there's still some slides, and tons of gloss black, which this vehicle doesn't have, only on the screen, so you won't have a lot of fingerprints. There's good pickup on this vehicle, and the reason that is because it's hybrid. Hybrid sort of gives you the best of everything. You get great fuel economy, it's electrified, so what that means is you're going to get good pickup. You're not going to have turbo lag. What you have is electrification, so it's basically giving you the best of all worlds. And Toyota is known for their reliability. People that own these vehicles love these vehicles, and you can see why. They're offering really cool product, not just in their Tacoma for the pickup trucks, but for the 4Runner, and also all of the vehicles across the lineup are starting to offer full hybrids, as well as a ton of capability on and off-road. You can adjust all the settings that you want between the gauges, which are digital. In this case, we've got navigation going here. If I don't want the navigation there, I can just use this little arrow here, and it goes away. You can change it to other settings if you want. Again, that all depends on what you want. Here it's got the adaptive cruise control modes. All of that is here. Personally, I like a lot of the safety features, but too many, to me, is just too many. If you want the nannies, they're there, but overall this vehicle is really, really nice. They made it look very aggressive. I would call it masculine, which I actually like in a truck like this. Tons of storage, places to charge, places to put your drinks, and I've always got a Monster with me. So, I mean, or a bottle of water or coffee, all of that is all here. There's memory seat settings. So they've really thought in full about the upgrade to this vehicle, which did start in 2025. Lots of changes, and the improvements, I'd have to say, are very dramatic. And when you're comparing it to the competitors out there, especially the Jeep lineup, the Toyota 4Runner crushes it. It really does lead the pack. As an owner of a Bronco Raptor, I think they're slightly different animals. And I say that because when you're driving a Bronco Raptor, it's really, truly an off-road vehicle that is different from this car. Again, I suggest taking one for a drive. It is louder inside. This is much quieter inside. And these are things that you need to test drive all the competitors. And again, we will cover that on our radio show, The Drive. All of the car news lives on Car Coach Reports, and all the car reviews are here on Car Smarts. One of the best features about the Toyota 4Runner is it has a 3 or 36,000 mile warranty, but it does include Toyota Care, which is 2 years or 25,000 miles of service, and that will save you a few dollars. Now let's talk about the price, the pros and cons, and of course the competitor list. Let's start with the price. The price of the TrailHunter, as you see, came in at $68,350. I think this is a lot of value, and that's one of the big pros. You're getting Toyota product that has great reliability, that has off-road capability, it looks great, and it's got a lot of new technology, which is what consumers want. They want that connectivity and, of course, the ability to do the things that they want to do. One of the things I like about this vehicle is the new engine, which is more fuel efficient, and in addition to that, it is very well mannered on this pavement when you're driving it every day, and of course, it's extremely capable off-road. One of the negatives is because this is a hybrid, it's going to take up some of the cargo space for the battery, so you are losing a little bit there, and the rear seats in the second row, well, they're a bit tight. But in this size vehicle, if you want something bigger, Toyota offers something even larger. There are only a few competitors in this category, and one of them is a Bronco Raptor, which I personally own and I love. A little bit different as far as capability, but this vehicle gives you really good on-road ride, which is where the Bronco Raptor is kind of loud. In addition, you've got the Jeep Wrangler and the Land Rover Defender, which again is a lot more expensive than this vehicle, but it all depends how much money you have, and of course check with your insurance agent, because that's going to make a huge factor on what your total costs are. If you have any additional questions about the 4Runner TrailHunter or the full lineup, put them down in the comments below. Let's start that conversation. If you got value from this video, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to support our channel, you can buy me a cup of coffee. That's down in the description, as well as additional details and my social media. Don't forget to listen to our radio show called The Drive with Lauren and Carl, available on all AM, FM, and of course on YouTube in a podcast platform. I'm LaurenFix. Thanks so much for watching.